Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, April 3rd, I think, and I am in the not middle, but I am reading two books, and the first one is The Poisoner's Handbook, and I am on page 195, and I have less than 100 pages to go, so I will probably finish this. And this is nonfiction, and it's like true crime and history, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And like I said, I plan to finish it this week. Then I am still in the very beginning of The Final Empire. I am on page 61, and this is the first book in the Mistborn series, my first book in the Cosmere universe, and I guess my first Brandon Sanderson book, even though he was also an author of the last books of the Wheel of Time series, but like just him, my first. And yeah, my first book in the Cosmere universe. I'm excited. I still don't know much, so I will only talk about it whenever I update next. And I really don't know what else I'm gonna read. I might read, I say this in every single vlog, like for the last 3 or 4 vlogs, I might read the 4th book in the Mortal Instruments series, but I am actually gonna read it with a friend, and she has read the first 3, but like a while ago, so she's like skimming through them to remember what happened, and I am waiting until she gets to the 4th, and then we will read it together. So it probably will be this week, but no promises. And I don't know if I'm gonna read anything else. Like, I guess it depends if I do read that with her or not. And tomorrow I'm going to a sort of, I never know what to call that, but like, I guess sort of a carnival that is in like the city near me, and it stays there for like a month from March 25th to April 25th, I think. Yeah, sounds right. So I'm gonna go to that with my friend and her sister. So that is gonna be fun. I am just excited for basically food, Anyway, that is everything I think that I wanted to say for this intro, and just welcome to the vlog. Hello, it is already Friday, and I didn't update sooner because the only thing I did was read this book, so I didn't have any other books to update on because I haven't made any progress in this, so so I only have this to talk about, and I don't think I said anything about this at all in this video, but basically this is the first book in the Mistborn series, which is a fantasy series, and in this world the ruler is a bad person. He's a tyrant, and there is sort of a rebellion starting, and the rebellion is being led by a guy called Kelsier, and he is a Mistborn, which means that he has 8 different kinds of powers, because the powers in this world, they are connected to metals, and the powers are called elomancy. And most of the people who have the powers, they are called mistings, and they can only use like one metal to do one thing. But Kelsier and other people who are more rare, they are called mistborns, and they can use the 8 main metals to do 8 different things with them, 8 different powers. And then there are other metals, but yeah, they basically have all of the possible powers of elemency. And so he is leading this rebellion because there are, like, in this world, there is the ruler, and then there are like the inquisitors and people who are tasked with like policing the everyone, and then there are the nobles, who are the families of the people who helped the Lord Ruler become the Lord Ruler because he is like immortal. And then there are the Ska, which is like everyone else, and most of them are treated as slaves. And like I said, Kelsier is leading this rebellion, and he finds Vin, who is a girl who's also a mistborn. So he trains her, and that's how we learn about how the magic works. And they try to gather people for their rebellion. But obviously, a lot of things go wrong, and there was something, I mean, there were many things that happened that were sad and unexpected, but especially one, I still have not recovered from it. I am not okay. I didn't expect things to go in that direction, at least not this early, and I am shocked. I am in pain. Yeah, but I really, really love this book. I loved the whole plot of this rebellion. Like, I was invested in what was happening from page 1. And I also really liked the magic system because it was so different and so interesting. And I loved the 2 main characters as well. I loved pretty much everything. The only thing I didn't like was the romance that was happening between Vin and like another character. I just did not like it, especially because she was just like trusting that guy over everyone, and I just, no. But apart from that, I really, really loved everything about this book, and I gave it 4.5 stars. And I am actually in a little bit gonna start the sequel, The Well of Ascension, and I am so excited for this. This one is longer. It is over 763 pages long, so it's definitely a lot longer than the first one. And also the font is smaller, I feel like. Yeah, it's definitely a lot smaller, so this will take me longer for sure, but I am very excited, but also very scared to get into this because I feel like bad things, like very bad things, are about to happen. But excited nonetheless. And I went to the carnival with my friend, like I said that I would, and that was so fun. I mean, I only go there for like 2 specific things usually, and I mean, that's food and also the bumper cars. And like, when I got out of the bumper cars, I was like bleeding from one finger. I had broken a nail from another. I just had some battle wounds. I don't know how, that has never happened to me before. And I didn't even like notice when they happened. I just noticed afterwards. I was like, what is wrong with me? And then I also like, I hurt my wrist, and I don't really know how. I don't think it was in the bumper cars though. I told my friend, and she was like, that was probably when you destroyed my sister and my brother-in-law in the table football. And I mean, you know, if it was, then it was worth it. Yeah. And so I had a lot of fun. That was on Tuesday, yeah. And then I have just basically been reading The Final Empire and loving every second of it, but also suffering with almost every second of it. But I mean, those are the best books. And I don't think I have anything else interesting to say. Not a lot has been happening. And yeah, I mean, I really want to draw because I haven't drawn in like 6 months, because like I went to Italy and then I stayed there for 5 months and I have been home for a month. but I haven't drawn yet, and I really want to, but also my wrist hurts. So it's probably not the right time, but I might do it anyway. And yeah, I will probably update again with my progress on the Wall of Ascension, and hopefully I will finish this like I really want to. I don't know why I haven't yet, but regardless, I will be back on Monday. Hello, so it is Monday, which means it's the end of this weekly reading vlog, and I did actually manage to draw something because my wrist is all better. It doesn't really hurt anymore, and I mean, yesterday still hurt a little bit, but it was good enough for me to draw. And I mean, it came out real bad because, like I think I said, I hadn't really drawn anything in like 6 months, so I was obviously out of practice, but at least I got back into practicing, I guess. And while I was drawing, I actually listened to a audiobook of one of my anticipated releases, which was called City of Nightmares, and was, kind of disappointing. And in this book, we were following, I think the main character's name was Nessa. Honestly, I don't even remember because it wasn't really that memorable. But she lives in a world where if you dream, you become your worst nightmare, whether that is some sort of monster, some sort of animal, or a more abstract fear, whatever that is, you become your worst nightmare when you dream. So you either like drink a special water that is distributed in the city that prevents you from dreaming, or you take some pills that prevent you from dreaming. But sometimes accidents happen, or sometimes people just want to become nightmares for some reason. And Nessa's sister had become a nightmare when she was younger, and so she was now part of an organization which was also sort of a cult, and they killed the like violent nightmares, because sometimes you kept your like mind, you just changed form, but you kept your mind, so you were just like the mind of a human in another body. But other times nightmares just were not human at all anymore, and they were just violent creatures, and so they had to kill them. And honestly, like, that was pretty much the only synopsis that was in Goodreads, I think, but it didn't really talk about any of the actual plot of the book, because there's a whole other thing, because there is like an explosion, an assassination attempt to a lot of people, and Nessa was involved in that in a way, and she's trying to figure out like who is behind that, who people are trying to kill, and why, and all of that. And listen, I didn't really like her because she was just, I don't know, she was a little bit annoying. And there was like the point where she found out one of the targets of the assassination, and she was like, how dare they be the target for this? How dare they like involve me in this? How dare they? And I'm just like, girl, they were literally like just the target of a murderer. How are you blaming them? You know what I mean? And also it wasn't really a relationship. They never really got to a relationship, but there was like some sort of attraction, whatever, with a guy. And at first she was like so scared of him. She was terrified. And then suddenly she was like, I'm still terrified of him, but also like he seems decent enough. And I was just like, what? And I don't know, it felt weird, it felt rushed, it felt not realistic. Not that I'm expecting like a world where people turn into nightmares if they dream realistic, but you know what I mean? And also there were some comments that it just felt like it was the author telling us that, you need to think this way because like someone would say something and there would be like no discussion about it. Like other characters wouldn't even talk about it. There was not a conversation. It was just like one character saying their thoughts on something and that was it. And it's not like whether I agree with that or not. It's just usually I like when, authors are trying to, get a point across, but there is a conversation. Even if both characters have the same point of view, I like to see them, talk about it. But they didn't. It was just like, I think this should be this way and not this way because whatever. And that was it. There was no conversation. And I was like, okay. And there was a lot of things happening. It was very chaotic, but not in a good way because I do love me some chaos, but not this type of chaos. And it was entertaining. I definitely did not like hate it. It was entertaining, but also it wasn't really that great for me. And I'm definitely in the minority here because most of the reviews I've seen have given this book 4 or 5 stars. So I guess it just didn't work for me. But yeah, I don't think I am like excited for the second book. I think it's second and last. I think it's a duology. I'm not excited for it. I probably won't be reading it. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't hate it, but also didn't really like it. And I gave it 2.5 stars. Then, actually was not then, it was before. I finished the Poisoner's Handbook. I don't think I had finished it when I last updated. Had I? I don't know. Either way, I finished it and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely funnier than I expected, but it was really cool to learn about this forensic toxicology in sort of this history setting. And I never liked history in school, but now that I don't actually like have to memorize stuff, I do like history. And yeah, it was definitely fun, but I feel like it was fun for me because I am a forensic scientist, so this is like the kind of thing that I do like to study. I'm not sure I would recommend it if you're not like really into the forensic stuff, but yeah, for me it was great and I gave it 4 stars. And then I got to page 326 of The Well of Ascension, and I am really liking this one as well, but I feel like so far in this 46% of the book we are focusing a lot on like the political situation of this world, and I am just waiting for the more like magical, fantastical part to happen. And I know that it is coming because we have seen like signs of it, getting here, but I'm just waiting for it to actually get here. Not to say that I'm not liking the whole political situation, I am, but I am more excited for it, the other part. But as a whole, I am really liking it, except like one relationship between 2 characters. I'm just like, every time they're like together, I want to throw my book out the window. But apart from that, I'm having a lot of fun. And that is everything that I read. And yesterday I went to the beach, not like actually to the beach. I went to like a bar on the beach after like the Easter lunch with my family. So that was fun as well. And that is pretty much everything that has happened in this week. So let's just wrap up everything that I've read. So I finished the last 85 pages of The Poisoner's Handbook. Then I read the last 582 pages of The Final Empire. Then I read City of Nightmares, which was 384. And I read the first 326 pages of The Well of Ascension. and that is 1,377 pages, which I am very happy with. And once again, I think we can conclude that my reading slump is over. And I know that I have been saying that for like a couple weeks, but it's always good to know that it really is over. And also, I haven't yet started reading the Mortal Instruments book because my friend actually is traveling, I think she's still traveling, during Easter. And yeah, I mean, she has finished the other three, but she still isn't, ready to start the fourth because she's not home. So I am still patiently waiting for her to be ready because, I mean, I'm not like dying to get to it anyway. So yeah, that is it. That is everything for this weekly reading vlog. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!